Hello and welcome back to FrogClan. We are picking up where we left off. It has been a little while for me, maybe not as much for you guys, but it's definitely been a second since I sat down to record. Like I said in Clan, I was just feeling quite a bit of burnout, so I just want to take a step back, get my feet back under me, and approach with a fresh perception. Sorry, Sinbad is distracting me. He is getting some after eating zoomies, it seems. So if you hear anything in the background, it's probably him running around. But really, we're just going to be taking things a bit slower, exploring in a bit more detail with the different characters. I feel like I had also had some kind of subconscious pressure to push to the next event. That way we can just get there and we can see what happens. And at the end of the day, it's not really going to be as impactful if we're rushing the character stories on their journey to get there. I'll still be skipping over patrols and such where nothing interesting happens, and we'll still be highlighting cats that have interesting relationships, statuses, or like obviously just the moon skip events, whatever those may be, in detail. But we'll be tackling things a little bit differently just in general. Sorry, my computer is trying to update apparently. It can wait. So we'll just be kicking off, taking a look at our cats. I'm gonna need some refreshers. It looks like we're moving into year 8. We're at 96 moons with our next event happening at 120 moons. So we have quite a bit of time to actually let our cats recover and build up a bit still. So that's exciting. But since we're going into a new year, everybody's patrol passes are going to get reset, so they'll have a bit of extra time to properly recuperate there too. Okay, so our next year passes are going to be 97 to 108 moons. We're probably not going to get through a full year this episode. Yeah, River? Okay. I'm sorry. You can come up here. That's fine. I apologize for all the cat-related intrusions that are probably gonna happen. They seem to be in quite the mood right now, so Sinbad is chasing his tail. So if you hear anything, again, I apologize, but we'll go ahead and we're gonna just jump in here now. So just taking a quick glance here, these are our current cats. I'm definitely seeing some names and faces and remembering a bit better now. We still have Wisteria Star at our helm too. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna actually time skip now. Okay, well it looks like going into moon number 97, we actually have quite a bit of health related things, but not much else. So Bright Torrent saved Shining Paw from a fox, but was hurt. Hair Shadow's mangled leg is looking much better and seems to have healed well. That's good. It sounds like we didn't get a scar there though, so give and take. Twilight Glide no longer has a stomach ache, but Twilight Glide does spend the morning with Murklaw, who helps them with the pace on their joints that reduce their pain. So that could just be related to their permanent condition too. Pebblepaw has managed to get rid of their frostbite, and Eva's yellow cough is gone. Wisteria Star tells Shirachi Lightning to calm them in a difficult situation. High positive effect. So just giving this a quick scroll through here. We're not going to linger too much unless I see anything really notable, which it looks like we're having a pretty even bag here, honestly, between the good and the bad. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with some of our cats here. Okay, so here's Pebblepaw, our thoughtful medicine cat apprentice. Pebblepaw did have frostbite but is healed. It looks like he healed without a scar, so he maintains his good looks, but he does not get a mutation. Here's Eva. or Ava. She has the apprentices very engaged and a very, very tall tale. She is 117 moons, so she is definitely approaching senior adulthood and ultimately elder status, but she is such a pretty cat. Oh, and here's Adam, who's currently having a hard day. She's childish, canine, incredible runner. She's also new to the clan. Okay, so here's Bright Torrent, who helped save someone from a fox. She's hurt with a bite wound, so it's definitely not awful. It could have been like a broken bone, but I'm sure that has a pretty good chance of getting infected, so we're gonna have to be careful. And right now she's wondering how Hair Shadow's doing. Hair Shadow's been a bit under the weather, if I recall correctly, and was actually passed over for getting an apprentice out of the many apprentices we currently have in favor of more or newer to the clan cats coming in and getting apprentices instead. So I wonder if there's anything going on with that dynamic there. Hair Shadow, speaking of, is currently missing a ZZ Dapple. I don't think we knew a ZZ Dapple for very long, but their presence is still missed. Greyheart, who is fierce and unusually strong fighter, is currently pushing for more battle training for the apprentices. And that is something that Greyheart has been pushing for quite a bit, really, I think. Okay, so it looks like Twilight Glide does have joint pain, which is probably coming from being born without the leg. And she's currently telling stories to the apprentices. Spider Smoke, on the other hand, is eavesdropping on Weed Paw, which is definitely curious, paired with the ambitious trait. It could just be that he's wanting to get to know what the apprentices are doing, to know what to do when he gets zone, or to try and increase his chance of getting one, since in this clan we are operating by normal warrior rules. Or maybe he's just up to something else. Sinbad is really trying to climb on my shoulders from his perch. Skypaw is currently finding Conchpaw annoying. Poor Conchpaw, who sent a lot of their kittenhood sick, really. Bitepaw, Acorn Crest's only kit, doesn't think they've been performing up to their mentor's standards lately. Their mentor is Jirachi Lightning, who currently is trying to set a good example for younger cats. So maybe she's trying to set such a good example that poor Bitepaw doesn't feel like she can keep up with that. That's definitely a possibility. And Jirachi Lightning, the kind of cat that she is, probably just doesn't even realize that she's setting even harder expectations for poor little Bitepaw to try and live up to. Sneezepaw, who is compassionate but confident with words, is currently gossiping. Shining Paw got caught trying to sneak out of camp without a warrior, typical of young apprentice things. Rainpaw is asking Sneezepaw if they are ready to be a warrior. I don't think Sneezepaw is the best one to make that assessment. And Pearlpaw is wanting to go on patrol with Conchpaw. I did check in their relationships here. It doesn't look like they have any kind of strong feeling for one another, but there could be some blooming friendships there that could be fun to see. I forgot Agnes is bloodthirsty, observing, and has an apprentice. It could be kind of interesting to send these four out, since Greyheart has that fierce wanting to push, and just seeing what maybe trouble they get into. So they take everybody out for a battle training session accordingly, and it's just a nice practice session with Skypaw really getting into it. So Jirachi Lightning takes Bitepaw out for some one-on-one time and hunting. They see a pod of dolphins, but as Jirachi Lightning offers the dolphins some of their fish, they accidentally slip and fall into the water. Both the patrol and the dolphins seem to be laughing at them. The dolphin tries to give them some herbs for the good laugh they gave them, but Jirachi Lightning just walks away embarrassed and soaked. Poor Jirachi Lightning. Try and do something nice for the kids and you just get laughed at instead. Big training patrol. And we get a nice, relaxing prompt. We find a nice spot to sun ourselves, but we don't get much done besides that. Our patrol catches the scent of a red fox. Tracking it, we find the animal feeding on a shark that the waves have washed ashore in the night. It's just Wisteria and Rowan Paw, with caretaking and speaking as their respective traits there. I don't know that Wisteria would push Rowan Paw to do this, but I don't know if we want to use a pass this early, since Wisteria doesn't have the most traits, but we do have more than one. I think we're going to let this go and use up one of Wisteria's passes. Okay, so our patrol tracks the scent of a large dog at the edge of the clan's territory. We're being led by Eva, and we have Blitzo, Shadow, and Spider Smoke with us. We do have a fighting patrol skill and pretty good experience across the board. Spider Smoke's a bit further behind since he's a newer warrior, but we'll proceed. No. We try to lead the dog away from the clan's borders, but so few cats it's impossible to cover each other's backs. Spider Smoke falls to the dog as the rest of the patrol runs for their lives back to camp, terrified out of their pelts and mourning their clanmate. Not Spider Smoke, he was such an interesting character. Oh man, that stinks. Okay, well, lesson learned. We're not proceeding here. Basil Nibble has traits, so we're not proceeding here. That should have just been a moon that we did nothing but train, apparently. That was just like some of the worst possible outcomes there. So, probably should have turned away at more opportunities, and we did, but that's unfortunate. Look at all the cats we have in StarClan. There's so many. Here's Spider Smoke, surprised to find themselves walking in the stars of Silver Pelt. Jirachi Lightning is gonna be so sad. Aw, okay. Let's go ahead and time skip though. The past moon, Spider Smoke has taken their place in StarClan. Their loss is mourned, and the clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives, as moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners. Blitzo's Shadow feels much better and is no longer suffering from shock. Weedpaw has gotten a stomachache. Pearlpaw overdid their last battle training session and has been wincing all day. Seems they're a bit scraped up. Eva's shock is gone. I noticed some wild garlic's gone bad. I'm just really still kind of reeling from losing Spider Smoke. I kind of had him pegged as being like a future drama stirrer between the ambitious trait and kind of, I don't know, seeming a bit sneakier than Twilight Glide. Having two ambitious siblings, one of which may seem more morally correct and one which may seem slightly less so, just had a lot of potential, and we're never going to know what would have happened. Wisteria is personally observing Rainpaw's training today. Pebblepaw is looking to StarClan for guidance in a difficult decision. I wonder what that could be. He's a little bit behind, but I don't think he's really doubting his path on Medicine Cat. It doesn't seem like he's really had a problem with it so far. Adam is jumping around while on patrol, which sounds really cute. Ignis is grateful to Pebblepaw for their treatment. Greyheart is thinking that she could take on a fox solo. Hopefully we don't have to test that. Skypaw, who's 11 moons old and has 44 experience, is anxious about becoming a warrior. There is definitely a good chance that she goes to get her warrior name next moon. Bitepaw is asking Creek Jumble for advice on passing an assessment. So she probably just doesn't think that she can do it on her own. Rowan Paw is finding Conch Paw annoying. Poor Conch Paw is just getting dogpiled all the time. And meanwhile, Conchpaw is just asking Skypaw to quiz them on types of battle moves. Conchpaw does have a cold nature and has a bloodthirsty mentor, so I'm sure that she's probably just kind of abrasive in a way that makes the other apprentices and maybe the warriors uncomfortable. Weedpaw is daydreaming about having a mate in Kit someday. She does have a little stomachache right now. Shining Paw is just thinking about how cool it'll be when they're a warrior. Pearlpaw is ignoring their mentor's orders. Okay, so definitely a little bit of drama there, but not much. I'm gonna check out their relationships and just see if there's anything fun brewing. Look at how much Murklaw loves Bright Torrent. And it's equally returned. Ooh, but she hates Greyheart. And she's forming a little crush on Creek Jumble. Pebblepaw may have a slight crush forming on Bitepaw. And it looks like Creek Jumble does return Bright Torrent's little crush, so there could be something forming there. Okay, there's nothing else really exciting there happening. A lot of cats have the strongest relationship with the various family members. And honestly, even that wasn't super strong. Nobody was like really into the strong feelings for another cat, be it like or hate. So really, I think Bright Torrent has the most going on, but Bright Torrent is one of the longest standing members of the clan now, so I guess that's not entirely surprising. We'll send out our patrols. Murklaw and Pebblepaw have not been having much luck gathering any kind of herbs, which isn't great. We are newly, so we're away from the worst of winter, but this is the time to stock up too, though. Okay, so we're sending out more apprentices on training patrols. Jirachi Lightning sees a pod of dolphins swimming in the distance and considers it a good learning opportunity for the apprentices. Will history repeat itself? Jirachi Lightning tells the apprentices about the red and white cat that was saved by the dolphins. They managed to keep afloat long enough for them to be saved by relaxing their entire body and floating on the waves. I'm really curious about this red and white cat because I feel like it's a reference that's just going totally over my head. Like, is it a buoy? Is it literally just meant to be a buoy? I don't know. If anybody knows what this is referring to, please let me know. I'm really curious about what the dolphin lore is. This is probably the most successful apprentice training patrol we had, with Sniphusk and Adam, where no one sets up to teach. Everyone's kind of moody for it. Our warriors do find another dog, but this time it's small and we manage to drive it away, backing each other up. I don't imagine our warriors are very excited to see any dogs at all for the foreseeable future. Okay, with Sirius Star stands above the clan and proclaims that Skypaw shall now be known as Sky Stalk, honoring their poise. That's a very cool sounding name, Sky Stalk. Stalking through the sky. Murklaw is finding it hard to be cheerful with how sore their twisted leg is. Aw. The joint pain that Twilight Glide was experiencing has abated, but then she missteps and slips from a rock, dislocating a joint. Cannot win. Weepaw's stomachache is gone and Pearlpaw has healed from their scrapes. But Adam wakes up with a splitting headache, unable to get out of their nest, and spend the entire day curled up, trying to avoid light and noise so the pain can subside. Pebblepaw finds oak leaves while out on a walk and decides to give them the sneeze paw. Weedpaw disappears for a few days and returns to camp with a green nylon collar around their neck. So it sounds like one of our apprentices, or maybe multiple of our apprentices, have been accepting food from two legs. Okay. So here's Sky Stalk. She definitely grew into her dark single stripe pelt, with the little patches of white though. She grew to be righteous, a good storyteller, and good speaker. They were mentored by Greyheart, who influenced them to be more likely to bend the rules, had trouble adapting and interacting with others. When they graduated, they were honored for their poise. So, Greyheart probably pushed Skystalk into the righteous path, but I think she was always going to have some kind of good speaking skills of some sort. Whether it be a good storyteller or a good speaker or both, which is what happens. And she's currently making note of Weedpaw's journey as an apprentice, which is fitting, seeing as Weedpaw came back with a collar and got caught trying to sneak out of camp without a warrior. I think Weedpaw is probably going to be in a bit of a doghouse for a little bit, because it really sounds like where she's been going to sneak out is to Two Lake Place. And with her insecure nature, it's very possible she's just wondering if being a clan cat is for her. Which maybe it isn't. I'd be very curious if cats could ultimately make that decision for themselves. And then here's Sneezepaw, who has their oak leaves now. He's reenacting a move that he saw Eva do. With Sirius Stars pondering recent dreams they've had, perhaps from StarClan. He is getting a little bit older, but he does have the majority of his lives, and he's the only one that successfully lasted as a leader through an extinction event. So I'm sure he's really analyzing any possible signs of what's to come, even if it's really early. So here's Pebblepaw all grown up. He's got quite the speckled coat, like just high speckling. So, does kind of look like pebbles on a gray background. And he's currently just making sure the nests in the den are as comfortable as possible. Eva, meanwhile, is keeping morale high, making everybody laugh with a very funny quip. Adam, who has a severe headache, is crunching leaves with their paws to keep herself entertained. Agnes is wondering if they could kill a fox all by themselves. That's not really something that a lot of the warriors wonder. Hair Shadow's in the medicine den. She's been pretty in and out of that sort of thing, so I'm wondering if she just is overanalyzing injuries, or she just feels that she needs, like, advice from Medicine Cat, maybe? Hard to say. Greyheart is eavesdropping on Mysterious Star. Twilight Glide is daydreaming, probably about being out and about instead of stuck in camp again. Pearlpaw wants to be a warrior before Conchpaw. They're about the same spot in their journeys, but Conchpaw is actually a little bit ahead of Pearlpaw, it looks like. Speaking of, though, let's send out our patrol. I'm just sending out all the apprentices on training patrols with their mentors in pairs. So, like, one apprentice, one mentor right now. And since we have so many apprentices, that's basically all that's happening. While out training, Skystalk stumbles upon a bush of red berries. Oof. Does Creek Jumble have any traits? I'm actually struggling to remember. Passes. We're not going to proceed. We do have one pass for Creek Jumble, which is used. Okay. I'll put a specific note in there. And we're safe. Sniphusk takes a couple of the apprentices out on training. And Pearlpaw and Weedpaw wind each other up on ghost stories, making up story after story and ever-increasing tales of horror. Until finally one sounds a little too ridiculous and both of them nearly fall over laughing, and the tension erases as they giggle. Merclaw and Pebblepaw actually gather something for the first time, being Poppy. And I think we'll go ahead and leave it off there. Let me know if you like a bit of a slower pace when it comes to this. I just think it's a little bit more fun to actually explore the different cats in a bit more detail. and discuss, but if you'd rather I just kind of keep episodes longer and skip through a lot more things, then we can do that too. I'm always down for criticism, whether it's good, bad, somewhere in between. I don't really care. I just want to make sure I'm bringing the content that people like to see, so I hope to see you all next time. Until then, stay safe and happy, and bye!